Okay, today we're going to go over a little bit of the next phase after the tow rail has been removed. Now you're going to want to clean whatever caulk is underneath the shoebox joint here on the Chrysler C22. Here's the tool that I purchased, Red Devil. I don't know, $3 or $4. Don't get the best one in the world. It's got different edges. Take a file this so there was a nice sharp edge here, flat. On this edge, same thing. There was a point on this end, filed it flat. And I took the file and did it across here to try and get an edge, a scraper edge, nice sharp edge to this, because it was kind of rolled from the stamping. Get that up underneath and you start moving it back and forth. You can get a little angle on this, and this edge will cut some of the stuff off the back side of the lip here. The hardest part is getting your caulk off the lip, and a lot of work. I did this side with this tool. I did the starboard side with the Sonocrafter, which sped everything up quite a bit. It occurred to me to use it after I read Tom Gentry's posting about the Sonocrafter tool used to remove the scraper part, to remove 3M 5200 off of the surface of the boat. Took the file and ran it this way on the edge, on both edges, to get a good sharp edge here. And when you get underneath, you can bevel it back and forth, and it takes a lot of that caulk out of there. My boat seems to have silicone seal underneath there. Real rubbery, and it's hard to get it off because it wants to roll rather than scrape. But it is not 3M 5200, I can tell you that. It's silicone rubber caulk of some type. So then after you got it as clean as you can possibly do, I got a real coarse grit here, like a 50. What would you call it? Crocus cloth or carborundum paper or something. It's very, very tough backing on it. Rip it into a strip, fold it over, get it up under there, and start running it back and forth. That takes a lot of that loose stuff out of there. This is a lot of tearing up your hands work. Band-Aid, blister. Give some blood for your Chrysler C22. You'll have blood in it, and that'll help you appreciate it in the future. Run this back and forth under there. Get out as much as you can. Sometimes you got to pry up the edge and get it up under there. Another thing I found, this is a cabinet scraper. Steel, hardened steel, and one side has a real sharp edge to it. You use a steel, like a steel on that you steel a carving knife with. These come sold usually with a steel to sharpen them. These I've had forever and never used them, but I found the previous owner had caulked up here with silicone, and that stuff is just hard as heck to get off. You get up there with your cabinet scraper, and it's curved so you can get it into the spots, and you can peel. Once you get the thickest part off with like a razor knife or a single edge razor scraper type deal, cut off the most of it, you can get all the rest of it off right down to the gel coat with this. Very, very good. Very tedious, of course. Everything you do on this boat is tedious. Next step, putty knife, good stiff putty knife. I actually rounded this edge off. Was going to try and use that for scraping. Didn't work out so great. So take a t-shirt, a piece of t-shirt, wrap it, hold it down here, put on your nitrile gloves. Get your can of horrifically nasty methyl ethyl ketone, MEK. Don't breathe it, don't get it on your skin. Eats up the nitrile gloves after a couple passes. Have plenty of those on hand. Dip your rag in, slip that up under. Start swabbing it back and forth. Clean out all that soft, crumbled up caulk and everything. As many passes as it takes. Both sides are scuffed up real good from that coarse grit paper, and it's about the best you can do as far as I can see without going nuts and taking the whole thing off, which you need a crane to do that. So here we go. That's it for this stage. Next stage, once I finish cleaning it out, I'm going to caulk it and then let it set for a few hours and then replace the tow rail. Alright, the port side has been caulked. One tube, 10-ounce tube of 5200. I was going to use the pneumatic grease gun method. Bought the grease gun, and I discovered that the space between the hull and the top cabin top here overlap was pliable and big enough, so I used just the caulking tip, didn't even trim it, that came with the 5200, and it wedged up in there real nice. Had a real heavy-duty caulking gun. One tube did all the way except the last 18 inches. So I'm going to have to probably get a small tube, a 4-ounce tube, to finish that off. I'm not sure. I should be able to squeeze it in there. I do have some wooden wedges. Here's the kind of caulking gun you need. A lot of leverage. Very sturdy. The brand here is Newborn Brothers, all cast metal. A lot of leverage, makes it go quick and less fatiguing on your hands. And I guess that's about it. I'm going to hold off a little bit till this stuff cures a little. Then I'm going to put in the underneath screws, and I don't want to put them in yet because then I'm going to get a lot of ooze out. I want it to firm up a little bit, so I might wait until later today. At least give it a couple hours.